Hey there, this is Ray Flowers of fantasyguru.com. Trying something a little different today. We're going to call this section In the News. I'm just going to pull up Roto-World and just go through some of the news and notes with you all here for a couple of minutes, see how it goes. By the way, if you don't have the football product, you can use the promo code RADIO20 over at fantasyguru.com, RADIO20. Get you a discount on the product. It's fantastic. It's up. It's rocking and rolling. 30 preseason podcasts, best ball section, dynasty section, keeper rankings, dynasty rankings, auction values, PPR, non-PPR rankings, player profiles, discussions about offensive line, coaching schemes. We got a lot there. Check it out at fantasyguru.com. Okay, some news and notes here. Let's just go through it. Adam Ottavino said Thursday they intend to stay with the Mets next season. Good for him. Shohei Ohtani told reporters late Thursday that he's dealing with cramping in his right middle finger. He's had a lot of cramping lately. Shohei, you're the best player in baseball. I said it last year. You're the best player in baseball, but it might be time to invest in, I don't know, some Gatorade, So he only threw 4 innings last night because of the cramping, which sucks. He was 4 scoreless. So fantastic player, 4 scoreless innings, hit a home run last night, stole a base, making history as always. Left wrist contusion for Max Muncy is day to day. X-rays came back negative, so that's good news for Muncy. You know, he's had one of the quintessential 2020 offensive season, right? Muncy really, in the old days, he would have been a Dave Kingman type, and people would have been like, oh, this guy's not a very good offensive player. Now we respect the game a little bit more. Batting average is below his weight, but he's producing a ton of power, ton of runs, and all that kind of stuff for the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman went 3 for 5 with another solo home run. And, Ronald Acuna's going to win the MVP, right? I don't think there's any doubt unless he gets hurt or something catastrophic happens to the Braves outfielder. But Freddie Freeman, I wrote about this yesterday at the site. Freddie Freeman could go 30-20 this year. Oh, and by the way, he's now hitting 340. Like, wow. Like, he's always been one of the best hitters in baseball. He's continued that. He is Mr. Consistency. I have dubbed him Mr. Cash Game at fantasyguru.com. I write the DFS article Monday through Friday for the Cash Game breakdown. Dubbed him Mr. Cash Game. The only question every day with Freeman is, are you going to pay the price in the DFS game to play him? But think about that. He's had a hit in more than a third of his at-bats, and he's on pace to go 30-20. Whew, Freddie Freeman. Zach Eloff of the Athletics, who will be in the Fab article this weekend. As we look ahead, he's already been in the Fab article, but in case you haven't picked him up, he'll be in there again this weekend. 2-4 at the home run last night for the Dodgers, showing some power, showing some speed. Zach Eloff is doing a really good job for the Athletics. And, it's interesting. You never talk about A's in the positive sense. At least I don't. Who does? He's a guy that we might be talking about in a positive sense. Kind of like it. Good for him. Tyler Soderstrom hit his first major league home run. Soderstrom's been a big disappointment. He's basically been in the lineup on a daily basis because Ryan Noda's injury. Jeez, I got something in my eyeball. Ryan Noda's injury. He's been playing a lot of pretty much every day for the Athletics. Really hasn't hit. And the belief was he was always going to hit. The problem with, where was he going to play kind of thing. But he took Emmett Sheehan deep for a home run yesterday. Maybe this will get him going. I'm in a 15-team mixed league. My goodness, my eyeball. I'm in a 15-team mixed league and trying to decide, do I drop him this weekend? Maybe he has a good couple of days and I can make a decision to hold on to him. He's the Athletics slugger, at least in potential. Sheehan allowed 2 solo home runs over 4 innings and a relief win on Thursday against the A's. Actually, it was a win, but he got a save, his first career save. She has done a decent job. He's a youngster that's unprepared at this point of his career. He's 23-year-old. He's done a good job again for the Dodgers, giving them some support with all the injuries they've dealt with on the hill. Julio Urias tossed 5 scoreless innings at the Athletics, and he has been someone that is really kind of hit or miss all season long. He had a horrible outing against the Orioles a couple of turns through the rotation ago. A lot of thought was the weather may have played into that. He just didn't handle the dampness very well, but he's pitched pretty well around that effort still. Even though he's got a 1-2 whip on the season, he's about a strikeout an inning, which is solid. ERA is 4.7. Like, he's had a rough year going into free agency next year. Not the season he's expected or wanted, but there is a chance that he'll finish on a high note this year in the fantasy space. Good first step here was against the Athletics. JP Sears was charged with 2 runs over 5 innings and a loss to the Dodgers. JP Sears is a fascinating guy. He really is. I've been using him in a couple of leagues because of injuries on the hill. He's 2-7 in 21 starts. He's an Athletic. Okay, that stinks. He also has 106 strikeouts and 116 innings, so almost a strikeout an inning. ERA of 4.1, more than half a run better than Julio Urias, and a 105 whip. The issue with Sears is he pitches very good and then gives up a home run or two. He's very home run prone, but he's pitched very well as a fill-in in mixed leagues. The problem is he's 2-7. So even though he's pitched well, he hasn't really offered a tremendous amount because of the fact that he just doesn't win ball games because the A's don't give him any run support. Shohei Ohtani, we talked about him. 40th home run, by the way, in the game yesterday. Eugenio Suarez, been talking about him at fantasyguru.com, wrote about him again yesterday at fantasyguru.com, hit another home run last night. He started slowly, and when you are a 225 hitter and you start slowly, people get nervous and people drop you. And I know people dropped him across the land. Good news is he's really started to come on here. He's now had an RBI in 9 consecutive games. He's just about up to 20 home runs. He's got a chance to do another 25-90 season. If he keeps going this way, maybe he can get to 30. That's really going to be pushing it. But 25-90, given where he was at to start the season, looks pretty damn good. He has been one of the most consistent power hitters in baseball. Not a supremely elite guy. He's not in the judge zone, right? But 25 to 30 home runs, 80 to 95 RBIs every year, kind of what you get with Eugenio Suarez. Striking out the side for a save was Andres Munoz. The Mariners doing something a little strange. They dealt Paul Sewald. Obviously, they felt Munoz could take over the 9th inning, and he had his first save there. Munoz, if he's not on a roster, will be a big-time addition for fantasy squads this weekend. Again, he'll be in the FAB article at fantasyguru.com. Munoz is terrific, and he's potentially an elite closer. He's been groomed for this role. His stuff is tremendous. He has had a damn difficult time staying healthy. We'll see if he can do that here in the second half of the Seattle team, who's going to be depending upon him now that Paul Sewald is a Diamondback. Carlos Estevez gave up a grand slam in the 9th inning and a blown save to the Mariners. He's been really good. He's been better than anyone expected. If he were to lose the job in the 9th inning, right, like today, if that were to happen, whoever rostered Carlos Estevez still got a huge victory. So we'll see if he can hold on. It's been a magical season for him. Just updated the Solds rankings at fantasyguru.com, so you can check out that article. Just updated the rankings themselves. You can check that out as well. And the closer grid. So check that out. Surprise notification that Liam Hendricks out of nowhere, Tommy John surgery. So all the situations of the 9th inning updated in that article. Brian Wu allowed 2 runs over 6 innings and no decision against the Angels. He's been a pretty fascinating guy, kind of on the Julio Urias train, like some really good outings, some that are a little, bumpy. But overall, basically a strikeout an inning and a 1.25 whip. The ERA is 4.75. And, Wu, again, is a guy that was picked up off the waiver wire. People got really excited after a couple of starts to begin his career. And then there's been a leveling here. Not surprising. Worry a little bit about innings with him. We're coming up on the cap as well. And then finally, Albert Alzolay. Hey, we're talking a bunch of relievers here. 13th save of the season. Do you know he has 13 saves for the Cubs? 2.27 ERA. He has pitched really well. And he was probably 4th on the depth chart when the season began for the 9th inning, worked his way into a setup role, and has continued to pitch very, very well. He is now the closer of the Cubs. I don't know. I'd be surprised. Like, you never know who's on waivers, and some leagues are more giving than others. But if Alzolay is on the waiver wire, still rectify that. He is pitching great. He's getting saves, and the Cubs are playing some pretty good baseball, too. Let's not overlook that fact. So don't forget to go to fantasyguru.com. Right over my shoulder, here's a little bit more on the old draft guide. Pick it up. Use the promo code radio20. Got it all there. I'm hosting a bunch of the podcasts, 10 of them there. Bunch of articles I wrote. The staff has been great. We got a lot going for you. So check it out over at fantasyguru.com. I'm Ray Flowers. Follow me here on YouTube, on Instagram, on Threads, and on Twitter at the Ray Flowers. And look for the Fab article coming out on Saturday. And look for my latest podcast as well on Saturday at fantasyguru.com.